question is, are you ready? Let me talk to you. I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can.
What do you guys want to talk about?
And I am that damn good.
I am the B-E-S-T.
And the color red in a world full of black and white. I am the eater of worlds. Yeah, and get some love. Acknowledge me. The champ is here. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here. Hey, yo. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of PCW Podcast Championship Wrestling. I am your host, Wayne, also known as Semi-Dry Chicken, and this is going to be a delicious episode. We have so much shit to talk about. We got news out the ass, and then we're going to cover the Royal Rumble. There's a lot to cover there. Big show. A really big show. But let's get this Rumble started, shall we?
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blickety black, y'all, and I'm black.
If I had a nickel. Welcome, Black. Dre?
Yo, what it do, PCW crew? Figured I'd switch it up for the month.
When you sent it to me, I was like, oh, I get why he wants this. I didn't know what it was until I clicked it. I was like, oh, okay, I understand for the month. Let's do it, right? And I click on it, and it started, and I thought, okay, maybe this is just the first 10 seconds. Maybe there's gonna be some lyrics and more lyrics. And
Nope.
Leaning forward, and I'm like, and in a minute now, there's gonna be some more lyrics, and I'm just like, what?
What's that from, CB4?
Yep, CB4, exactly.
Classic.
All right,
Fucking classic.
let's get him in here.
Yeah, we coming now. Come on. Yeah, that's right. We put it down. It's like a family in here, just a little disabled. Putting it down, we lay them out on the table. Yeah. Who's in the house? The brothers in the house. Gotta turn it on out, let you know what we about. Kinda like Cain and Abel, a bit unstable. Don't be breaking the brain, break the whole damn table. How we shut it down, we give them a play.
Doyle.
Oh, it's me, it's the DOYLE. And right off the bat, I got a recommendation for you fellas. Big E produced and lends his voice to a animated short cartoon. It's called Bridges. It is on YouTube as of today. It is fantastic. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Take 12 minutes out of your day and check that out. It's great.
Yeah, I saw you posted in the Discord. I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah, that sounds good. You know what though? Any kind of voice work wrestlers do if they get the opportunity to do any kind of voice work, I'm always up for it. You know what? It's such a stupid movie, but I thought it was funny. Did you ever see Surf's Up 2? Do you know Vince McMahon is in that?
What?
Vince, no, seriously, watch Surf's Up 2, like the second one, and Vince is in it. The Undertaker is in it. Michael Cole is in it. John Cena is in it, and they all play like these animated characters.
Didn't they do a Scooby-Doo cartoon also?
I think so. Yes, like a WrestleMania related Scooby-Doo thing. But
They've had some weird cartoon stuff. There was Camp WWE, right?
oh
Wasn't
yeah,
there?
I like that though. That was funny as hell.
Yeah, well, this cartoon of Big E's has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with pro wrestling.
Oh, okay.
But it's still excellent.
Yeah. Surf's Up 2, Wave Mania came out in 2016. Also had Triple H in it.
Is that the movie with the penguins?
Yeah, dude. The penguins that surf.
I don't know why I was thinking Surf Ninjas.
Oh, dude. I was just
I was
talking
like,
about
wait,
Surf
they made a
Ninjas the
Surf
other day.
Ninjas that much damn later?
Wasn't that a Chris Farley movie?
No.
Surf Ninjas?
No.
that was Beverly Hills Ninja.
Now we're going down a rabbit hole. You mean Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy?
Surf's Up to Surf Ninjas to
You
Beverly
remember
Hills
American
Ninja.
Ninja? You ever see those movies?
Oh yeah.
Oh, American Ninja. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of those. That was an '80s movie, right?
Yeah.
One of those '80s martial arts flicks.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
gosh.
There's like 4 or 5 of them.
So guys, the other day I'm at work and I'm in one of the warehouses and I hear about an aisle over from me. I hear some typical what it sounded like commentary for a wrestling match, and I immediately was like, I recognize those voices. That's Michael Cole. And I popped my head around the corner, and there was a guy on his phone watching wrestling clips, and I just go, so I see you're into wrestling. And we started chatting, and he likes the Attitude Era. That's where he watched it, and I think that's kind of where he fell off. I know a lot of people like that who were like, oh yeah, I love the Attitude Era. If they would ever bring that back, I'd come back and watch, but I haven't watched since. I think we all kind of know at least one person like that.
We call them casuals.
Yes. Yes. And they're always like, well, you know, if The Rock and Stone Cold would come back full time, I'd come back as a fan. I'm like, okay.
Right, like they're in their 50s.
Yeah, I was like, you understand, right? They're
Yeah.
old.
I mean, it's
But-
understandable because the Attitude Era was also the Monday Night Wars era, so
Yeah.
that was kind of wrestling's. I don't want to say peak, given what the product is nowadays, but for a lot of people, that was the peak of wrestling at that time.
Yeah.
Especially
Oh, yeah.
Monday nights were dominated by wrestling. You either watching Nitro or you were watching Raw. So, and it Stone Cold and The Rock and guys like that and Sting and others had that crossover appeal. So that where they brought in people who normally would not watch wrestling got sucked into the product. And then obviously once things changed up, those people who just were kind of in it because they were riding the wave just fell off.
Yep. Also, like, it's starting to, like, really, like, sink in, like, the Rumble is over, so the wheels are in motion for WrestleMania, and I'm, like, looking at the calendar of, like, how close everything's coming, and I'm getting excited, and I'm finding out, like, there's more and more people that I know that are going to be there, and it's going to be cool, because, like, I'm pretty sure, like, one of the days, it's probably the first day, we're all going to be wearing PCW shirts, and it'll be very easy for all of us to find each other. And then, like, it's like, oh man, what wrestling shirt do I wear like night 2? But I know for a fact at some point during the show I got to get around seeing everybody. I mean, the whole, like, maybe like a slow women's match or something. You know, I'll be out there just.
What do you Mr. McNally have a problem? What here in the parking lot.
You stay here! You stay here with Stephanie! You take me to him! Take me to the son of a bitch! Take me to him! Come on! Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go! Where's the son of a bitch? Where is he? Where are they? God, where are they?
That's gonna be just me tracking all of you guys down. Where's the son of a bitch with the PCW shirt? That's me tracking out Carlos. Where is he? Where's
Do we
Dwayne?
have jackets? Are jackets available in the
Ooh,
Pro
like-
Wrestling
like-
Tees store?
like,
Because I
like-
don't think a T-shirt is going to be sufficient.
I know. I'm gonna have to find like a separate website to get like specifically just hoodies because I'm dropping money on a hoodie.
Definitely.
I'm not looking for like a denim jacket or like a bowling jacket, like when Homer was in the bowling team.
There's a good black hoodie. That's all I need.
There's a chance it's going to be 80 degrees, but there's equally a chance it's going to be 30 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know, dude, because, like, honestly, we're going to be seeing, like, 50-degree weather here, like, next week, like, here in Pennsylvania. And, I'm only, like, an hour away from where this is going to be shot. Like, I mean, the weather here is so weird. Like, we already had, like, a massive snow, and then now it's, like, it feels like spring already. Like, it feels like we're going through all the weather climates. So, like, honestly, like, peeps who are listening, who are coming for WrestleMania, I would just say be prepared for it to be cold, but also have something that you're willing to, like, shed layers off of. Don't come in like a onesie. Don't come in like a big puffy jacket. Like, you don't want that. You want like a hoodie, and I'm pretty sure most of us are gonna be drinking. We'll stay warm that way. I feel like I will lose my voice, whether it's night one. I mean, these guys do it on commentary all the time, and we saw it at Rumble. I mean, I feel like I'm easily gonna lose my voice, easily. Oh wait, I have questions for the episode. I have multiple questions, and I will ask those. We'll say towards the end of we'll do it after the Rumble. But for now, we're going to break into news, and I'm going to play this cool news bumper. Oh, here we go.
News team, assemble!
I've got news for you.
Well, I got news for you.
Newsflash, asshole!
Doyle, I would like you to deliver this crazy news, because I just can't do it. I just can't fathom to put this fucking story together, because I just can't believe that it's real, So, go for it.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be a big surprise. But yeah, I mean, the big news, of course, is Vince has resigned once again. This time because a former employee, is suing him because of an NDA agreement she had entered into him, to which he did not fulfill his end of. I believe it was for $3 million. He only gave her $1 million. So suffice to say, first things first, Vince is fucking gross. Johnny Ace is gross. Brock is gross. But like I said, it shouldn't really be a big surprise to anybody. In June of 2020, the Wall Street Journal reported that the board of WWE was investigating a secret $3 million payment to a paralegal that Vince apparently had entered into a sexual relationship with. Well, that turns out that that's this woman, Janelle Grant, who's filing this lawsuit currently. So a month later, the Wall Street Journal reports that there's $12 million worth of payments to 4 different women. And it was then that Vince left for the first time. But even that was nothing new, because in 1992, ex-referee Rita Chatterton accused Vince of raping her. In 2006, a Florida tanning salon employee said that Vince attempted to rape her. And that's not even accounting for all the shady shit that Vince has done, both on camera and off, between covering up a murder committed by one of his wrestlers.
Doyle, can I use that bumper? The one we discussed earlier?
Oh, sure.
I'm going to play the bumper anyway.
Come on out, you rapist!
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
right. I mean, the way he's booked women on his own programming, often involving himself, forcing his employees to literally kiss his ass on national television. So there's no chance in hell, see what I did there, that Endeavor didn't know about this, Slim Jim didn't know about this, that The Rock didn't know about this, and maybe most importantly, that Triple H didn't know about this. And fucking shame on Triple H. Does he really expect us to believe that he had no idea about any of this? I guess he doesn't read the Wall Street Journal. Does he really expect to believe he hasn't read the complaint? Fuck you, Hunter. Are you serious? Like, he could still give a non-answer answer at the press conference, without insulting our intelligence. He could have said something like, I don't know, I can't comment on an ongoing investigation, but we take this very seriously, and we will deal with it appropriately when the investigation is concluded. See, that was pretty easy. Maybe Hunter didn't know Vince was pimping this woman out to Brock Lesnar. Maybe he didn't know Vince took a shit on her head. Maybe he didn't know the details. But don't you dare try to sell us that you didn't know anything. Shame on Triple H. But to borrow a phrase from Paul Heyman, I think we might only be in the second inning of all of this. I guess to Endeavor's credit, Ari Emanuel's credit, although it's my understanding his daughter works at WWE, so I imagine he has maybe a little more personal stake in it. I do believe they'll get to the bottom of it. I think they'll find out who else was involved, who else knew about it, who didn't say anything, how deep it goes. We've seen Ronda Rousey say that Bruce Pritchard was being compliant in all this. I hope not. I really like Bruce, but you know what? If he is, he's got to go. It makes me wonder about Kevin Dunn resigning a couple weeks ago. I mean, did that have anything to do with this?
Right.
Vince and Shane have had a falling out, going back years, and I wonder does that have anything to do with this? Mm-hmm. I think I expect a lot more to come out. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. We still have this $12 million to 4 other women. So what's going on with them? I wonder. The latest news, as far as I understand it, is that Laurinaitis is claiming that he's a victim of Vince McMahon. Also, Vince made me do all this stuff. So we'll see where that goes. And it's also my understanding that this woman Grant's lawyer is getting more than a few ex-employees coming forward and saying, "Oh, I have a story. I have a story. I have a story." So I think this is much, much, much bigger than we know about so far. But if there's any positive to be gleaned to this, is that another rich white asshole got brought down by his own hubris. Because not only did he think he'd get away with it, and he did in fact get away with it for years and years. But he thought he could sell his company, go down to Wall Street, ring a bell and smile and make the media rounds, and that nobody was going to find out about this. Like when deals for like $1 bazillion go through, every fucking rock, every stone, every T, every I, everything is checked. What a fucking piece of shit. Am I right?
Here's the thing. It's like, I could kind of see a lot of this shit with Vince, right? Especially when you look at a lot of the storylines he's done, like you said, like the Kiss My Ass Club and stuff. Like it all like starts to make sense. Like he's the actual gimmick that he portrays. Like this fucking sick individual, right? I mean, I'm glad that he's gone and stuff, but now they're gonna think be giving him like the Benoit treatment. And it seems like they might be doing the same with Brock. Like, you showed me, somebody, I think it was you, posted like a picture of like the Rumble past winners and like how Vince is out of it, Brock is, and Chris Benoit. Like, how many more people do we have to lose to the? But it's so crazy to believe like Brock's tied into this too, And then like, how does Sable feel about this? And like. And John Laurinaitis, and I was talking off air, like, how fucking awkward is those, like, Thanksgiving dinners going to be with the Bella Twins and Daniel Bryan, and, it's like, so, I heard you take part in some weird shit. People power. This is crazy, I don't know, with Triple H, like, how much, he really knew, and I kind of guess with the press conference, it's like, it was better safe than to say nothing at all.
Didn't even read the thing. Bullshit.
Yeah.
That your boss and father-in-law has all this shit said, and you don't read it.
But you know what I'm also thinking too is I bet there was a moment where he was just like, I don't want to be any fucking part of this. Like he's like, I didn't have any part of it, and I don't want any part of it. Like he's kind of Triple H is in a good place right now, right? And it's like. Getting tied into that would suck. That would just ruin it for him. That would just ruin his career, I think. Getting tied into this. Like, Vince is gone. He's gone. Like, a lot of people were worried about the Netflix deal. About, they might try to pull out now after all this. It's like, no. It's like, Vince is gone. Like, the problem's gone. There's no reason to pull out because of something like this. You know, that's a big fucking money deal. I mean, yeah, it does hurt it, but...
I wonder if Stephanie comes back now.
Yeah, that's another thing I was wondering. Is like the only right now it's weird. This is the first time we've had no McMahon in the company. You know, running the company. Like that's
going
so
back
weird.
to Capital Wrestling. Jesse.
Yeah,
McMahon.
And like now it's gonna be so weird. Like now we know for sure that Vince's hands aren't in anything anymore, and like we're gonna see how the company progresses and changes through and through. Dre, like, what are you feeling in all this, man? It's some crazy shit, like no pun intended, but like just some crazy shit.
Well, I would say that even though these are still technically allegations and that we are dealing with a civil lawsuit, I think anybody who has followed Vince's actions and is aware of things that have come out in the past and what that man's history is, I don't think anybody looks at those allegations and think that they are completely out of the realm of possibility for someone like Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even as wild as some of the allegations are that are in the suit, you would think like would be beyond for a normal person, but somebody like Vince, especially a guy who has pretty much spent the majority of his adult life and his professional career sitting at the top of a company virtually unchecked for the entire time. That level of narcissism and that level of unchecked power can yield some pretty wild shit, as we've seen in this lawsuit. And now that this is I think what kind of is surprising to me is the fact that TKO still went through with the deal with all of this stuff. Like, did they?
Yeah, they had to know about it. They had to.
I think, to what extent? I think they knew some stuff, but I think that part of it was them being willfully ignorant of things, and also possibly being lied to as to what extent this stuff went, like how deep this shit actually went with Vince. Like, I'm pretty sure they didn't know, oh, he had some cases and he probably told them, like, these things, they're taken care of, they've been resolved, they're not that bad. Mm-hmm. And they may have, to their fault, maybe taken him at his word that these were minor issues, these were gonna be resolved. Maybe him getting those things resolved, taken care of, or the whole NDA stuff maybe was part of it. Like, I'm going to get these things taken care of. Don't worry. They won't become an issue. They'll go away. And they were like, okay. And then he did enough to make them go away just to make the deal go through. And then Vince, being the narcissist that he is, oh, it's gone through. We're all good. I've done my part. We're good. And then just drops it. And then lo and behold, them checks stop coming. And Shorty's like, oh, you think you don't have to pay me no more? Okay, I'm about to flip all this shit over.
Yeah.
And boom, here we come with this lawsuit. I mean, there's nothing more that can be said about Vince that hasn't already been said in terms of how completely repugnant he is as a person. And yeah, his career is completely over with, but he's still a fucking billionaire who's, will have to deal with public shame from his multi-million-dollar compound in Connecticut or wherever he stays at for the rest of his life. Mm-hmm. Which is always the fucked up part about when extremely wealthy people fall from grace in scandals and stuff like this. It's like, okay, the world don't fuck with you no more. You got to go away now. It ain't like you lose everything and you end up a bum on the streets. Like, no, you get to go live in your mansion for the rest of your life and just be out of the spotlight and basically be rich and unbothered. That's your punishment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like,
that's kind of the fucked up part of it. Now, as far as the internals and within WWE and how this is going to go from there and what's going to happen, I mean, that's going to play out over time. That's going to play out over months, maybe even a year from now, or years plural, as far as what we'll see. Because I imagine what they're doing now, if TKO's anything, is probably doing something internal and seeing, you know, now that this shit done blown up, trying to keep it from getting any worse, or trying to prevent anything new from coming out, or try to get ahead of it. Like last thing they need to do is for this suit to go, you know, unresolved, or for it to be reach some point where information starts to become public, and then we hear about other people who may still be with the company or other, you know, noteworthy people, and find out they had some involvement in Vince's shenanigans. And we find out that, you know, it wasn't just Brock Lesnar. It was, you know, wrestler so-and-so, or wrestler so-and-so, or executive so-and-so who's still with the company. This has the potential to be one of those things that just never goes away. Like a fire that you think is put out, but you didn't fully put it out, and all of a sudden it flares right back up all over again. So if TKO is smart, they would be going to every single person and basically pulling them in the office and being like, motherfucker, you better tell me the 100% truth about every question I'm about to ask you. And making sure that they have all their T's crossed, their I's dotted, and anybody who needs to go, get ahead of it, get them out now. Because, again, the last thing you want is for, you know, 3 months from now or something comes out and we find out that, oh, Triple H was involved in yada yada, or, you know, Bruce Pritchard was involved in such and such, or, you know, whoever.
I know, it seems like every day,
or some top star or some name comes out, because then, like I said, this shit's just gonna blow up all over again, and it can end up really fucking bad. And, you know, for the sake of the WWE and for the sake of their product, I hope it's just limited to mostly Vince and maybe a few executives who are no longer with the company, and that it does go away and that WWE can move forward, because the product itself is in one of the best places that it's been in a long time. The image of WWE, generally speaking, is the best that it's been in a long time. And it would be kind of unfortunate if all that gets tainted, because
days without incident, 0.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if all that got tainted, because, you know, people still were trying to cover their own asses and still trying to hide stuff.
Well, how about, it's like, it seems like every day it's getting worse with him, because, like, I mean, I think it was just like, it was like, what, 24, not even 24 hours before, like Slim Jim even took effect, and, like, you know, dropping, you know, WWE real quick before the Rumble, and then, you know, then he resigned, and then Slim Jim signed back up, and then, like, I saw pictures of, like, Brock Lesnar in court, and, like, now we're hearing things from John Laurinaitis' lawyer, and it's like, it's only been a week, and it's like, there's so much shit happening every day.
That's what I said. This is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, because people are in CYA mode.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, look at the Bella Twins, of all people, trying to put out a statement about something.
Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't have done nothing.
Y'all could, like, one of the guys implicated in some of this stuff is y'all's daddy-in-law. Like, y'all could have just kept that whole tweet to yourself.
I would have if I had to tweet one thing, I would have tweeted stepfather, like, and emphasize on the step part. No,
just don't tweet anything, or just say, you know, or if you gotta say anything, say something generic. I support victims. I stand with the victims. Something of that nature. But don't sit there and be like, we are shocked and appalled at these things, and this is a tough time. Like, that ain't it.
Yeah. I mean,
because it doesn't come off as.
That's what I mean. Like, I think that's another reason why, like, at that press conference, like, Triple H didn't bring up anything, because he just, it's like, yeah, we're trying to focus on this, and not any of the
Yeah, but
negativity.
he could have said nothing.
Yeah.
So much more.
There's a way to
He
not
just stared
answer,
at the camera.
but still acknowledge it. And
Yeah,
it seemed
I mean, I
like he
feel
was
like
just trying to
insulted
completely
our intelligence.
Yeah.
That was the issue I had with his answers. Like, he tried to just like completely not acknowledge it. The big elephant in the room. Like, and there's no way he could not have known that this was coming. I give them credit for not pre-screening questions, because I don't think anybody would have been surprised if.
Oh, they had to know it was coming.
Right. I don't think anybody would have been surprised had not a single question been asked and we'd find out that, WWE was pre-screening questions and it told them all, don't bring up the Vince thing, yada, yada. So I give them credit for at least allowing the questions to be asked. But if you're going to do that, you should be prepared with some sort of answer other than, I'm choosing to focus on the positive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sounded like Mark McGuire up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's come out from, I guess, from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select that apparently he spoke with Shawn Michaels about things, and he put out a couple of tweets that I'll read real quick. But one tweet says that on behalf of that John Alba, on behalf of Fightful, asked Shawn Michaels if he had conversations with talent or staff about allegations in the lawsuit. Mm-hmm. According to then, Shawn Michaels says that everyone is clearly aware of it. The situation sucks, but they take it very seriously and are aware that NXT is full of impressionable talent. He says that NXT urges talent to be honest with them if they need help or if someone tries to take advantage of them. He says he thinks coming off the Rumble that a lot of talent are excited for the future despite the situation. Going on from that, continues to say, I asked Shawn Michaels about protections in place for talent in NXT that could be impressionable or vulnerable. He said WWE can always do better, and the information in the lawsuit is unfortunate. He says that there are some protections in place, but they will always try to do better in NXT, and it's something very important to him. Now, why the fuck couldn't Triple H have said something like that?
Yeah.
Granted, maybe Triple H has way more lawyers in his ear, given that he is in a COO position. He's obviously a very much far higher ranking executive than Shawn Michaels is. So maybe Shawn Michaels has a little bit more freedom to speak freely than someone like Triple H does. I get that. If that's the case, so be it. But lawyers also have a way of prepping you with something as opposed to just saying, don't say nothing, or just, he could have given something more than just, I choose to focus on the positive without still, I don't know, potentially implicating him or WWE or saying something like, I feel like that answer was just kind of, to me, it reeked of being unprepared.
As Mick Foley would say, he lacked testicular fortitude.
Yeah. Like, I don't think anybody expected him to go out there and just spill all the tea or to take some bold stance against his father-in-law or anything of that nature. I didn't expect him to walk out there and be like, fuck Vince. We don't ever want to hear from him again. And he ain't coming to our kids' Christmas or nothing. Like, nobody expected that, but we expected something more than I'm choosing to focus on the positive right now. It's like, come on. You knew this was coming. You could have been more prepared.
Right. Well, I guess that I was just like so excited to do the episode just because like it's like this is big news and it's like every day something new is dropping. I mean, if anything, we'll probably do another news dump episode because I'm sure like it's going to get batshit crazy or within the next few weeks here. So I just want to continue talking about it then at that point. But
yeah, I imagine if anything new or significant comes out about it, obviously we'll continue to talk about it. But for now, I guess we can all collectively say, fuck Vince.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vince can go away, and
I really hope
all this stuff is completely true. It turns out to be absolutely true that he did, which, again, given that man's history, there's no reason to doubt it.
Yeah.
Then fuck him, and he can rot and leave.
But like,
yeah.
Now Brock's tied into this, and now we're seeing the effect of that, like an active wrestler on the roster who was pinned for certain matches is now they're having to reshuffle a bunch of shit on the card because of it. But we'll talk about that then. And I guess injury wise, we'll get to that too. We'll get to that. Fuck. So, okay. We're going to wrap up this segment here. Unless you guys have anything else you want to add.
I do not.
Nothing, Doyle?
No, I mean, the only other thing that I think we didn't mention that I would question, excuse me, I got a Dre syndrome, would be there when Vince resigned the first time, a couple of board members also resigned. And part of his forcing his way back in was bringing two of them with him. And those are the first people I would be interviewing, because what's up with that, you know? But I mean, I think Triple H can definitely count on being questioned about this again. So I hope he has a better answer next time.
Yeah, if more stuff comes out, then people are going to be right back at him at the next pay-per-view or the next PLE or press conference, be like, so, still want to focus on the positive, or are you ready to talk about some of this shit? Right?
All right. Well, let's wrap this segment up and get to the Royal Rumble. And I got a bumper for us to segue for this. Here we go.
But let me tell you this. I am no pervert.
And now for today's top story. The Boyardee of War, Mankind of the WWF, has invaded New York. Please be on the lookout. His intentions are unknown. Have a nice day. He never goes anywhere without his Chef Boyardee overstuffed beef ravioli, and his call is unmistakable. Beefy! The zesty hearty goodness of Chef Boyardee definitely feeds the need. It's the perfect ravioli for all mankind.
All right, guys. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble. Man, you know what though? We had 4 matches on this entire card, and as I was watching this and realizing like the time frame for a lot of these matches, I was like, wow, they filled it pretty quickly. So, Dre, you know what? I'll just let you take it from here, man. Yeah.
Yep. Royal Rumble 2024 took place from St. Petersburg, Florida, at the Tropicana Field, with an attendance of 48,000 people and 44 extras. Like you said, Wayne, this was, for as long as of a show it was, to only have 4 matches. Mm-hmm. The men and women's Royal Rumble matches, the United States Championship match between Kevin Owens and Logan Paul, and the Fatal 4-Way match for the undisputed Universal, WWE, Intercontinental, International, Intergalactic, Transdimensional Championship, whatever the hell they're calling that shit.
Yeah, of Middle Earth. Yep.
Yeah, of Middle Earth. Mm-hmm. They managed to somehow stretch them 4 matches out to a 4-hour PLE.
Yeah.
Which, I guess, kudos to them for that, but whew, that motherfucker dragged at some points. So, anywho, obviously the Royal Rumble kicked off with the women's Royal Rumble match. And the first 2 that we saw come out were, in fact, I forgot who the fuck number 1 was. Number 1 was,
Natty.
Natalia. That's right.
Oh,
Natalia. I remember I cracked
easily
a joke about it. Arguably easily forgettable, but I remember that I cracked about it when she came out. I was like, yep, makes sense. Go ahead and get Natalia out the way, because everybody know damn well she ain't winning shit. So let's just go and get her out the way now.
She's going to go the distance, though, and make it to the Final 4, right? Right?
Nope.
Right? No?
Nope.
Okay.
And then with the number 2 entrant, we got our first big pop of the night with the return of Naomi, which I love the fact that she got such a warm reception from the WWE universe, and that the audience really welcomed her back. You could see in her face that, it really hit her. Mm-hmm. really hit her in an emotional spot. And yeah, I loved it because given the way they exited, and I have not forgotten how people talked about them at the time when they walked out on WWE. It was not all positive. Most of it was not positive at all. And yet, a lot of people, as soon as she came back, seemed to have forgotten all about that, which I'm happy for because she deserves it.
Not me. I hold grudges. God damn it. I remember you left us. You walked out on us. You and Sasha. You took
And who said that should be 1 or 2 so she could do her entrance?
Yo, sir, that was a great idea. Like, having a returning star, with such a great entrance too, like being a number 2 entrant, like that's awesome. And I'm just gonna step in real quick here to say, like, she went the distance, like time wise, she went very long, and that's great for somebody making a return like that. I always think having the first like 3 or 4 people who come out, who, I always think one of those people should like go the distance of the match, and she was in there for like an hour and 2 minutes. Like, oh yeah, fucking
yeah. She had a good strong run, which is good for her returning. Like, it shows that they clearly weren't just going for the quick cheap pop of, oh, this person's back. All right, now get out the way so we can move on to what we want to do. Like, they let her have a strong enough showing to, easily reestablish her with the audience and reestablish her as a viable competitor on the women's roster. So
yeah, I mean, that's great and all, but these records mean nothing if we're constantly breaking them. Also, like last year we got the most time in the Rumble and number 2 in Live, and then we got number 1 and number 2 again this year. Like, is somebody going to go for an hour 15 next? Like, where does it end?
You know where it ends?
If they keep
it just never ends, dude. It's just there's always
it ends when we have a competitor enter number 1 at the women's Rumble, win that, and then come back and then stay out there, enter number 1 in the men's Rumble and win that one too.
Damn. Yeah,
and they have their pick of all the belts.
Everybody's got to have a record, right? If you can't win a title, you got to get a record of some kind. It's like a trophy for everyone. It is kind of ridiculous, Doyle. It's to me, there was only like the certain important ones, like the longest time wasn't really a big deal to me. I think this year putting the time on the side though, like they put the little clock on the side to show how long some of these people were in. That was kind of cool.
That's fun.
I did like that.
Sure.
I like that too. But before it's just it never mattered to me like how long certain people were in. Like at one point I remember the Rumble that Rey Mysterio won. It's like, oh, he's been in the match for over 60 minutes, and I was like, yeah, okay. I'm like, but he's probably like laying down for like 30 of those 60 minutes. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not like you're sitting there going hard in the paint for all 60 minutes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I saw him laying down a lot. Or like they'll have like a wrestler who's been in this match for so long, but like, didn't they roll out under the ropes and disappear for like 20 minutes? Like, I've seen that too. Like, no, those kind of things don't matter to me. You know what I did like, though, is eliminations. Like, who got, like... Because, like, remember, like, when Kane held, like, for the longest time, he had, like, 11 eliminations. He held that record for, like, so long. But, it's just weird, like, a guy who had so many eliminations just never, ever won the Rumble. Then every couple of years, they would just... up it with another guy. It was Braun Strowman, I think, had like a bunch of eliminations one year. I think he broke Kane's record, but and I guess consecutive wins and like that's another record I guess I could care about is like when Stone Cold won them back to back, and now we have somebody else who won them back to back.
But the back to back thing isn't even that big of a deal. The only thing that Stone Cold could really stake his claim on is that he's the only 3-time winner.
Yes.
As far as back-to-backs, there were a couple that have happened. I mean, Hogan was a back-to-back before Stone Cold.
Yep.
Stone Cold's been back-to-back, and then now.
Yeah. So, continue on. Naomi.
So, like I said, Naomi obviously got her good, got the warm reception. Then, of course, at number 3, we found out why Bayley looked so sad when she pulled her number on SmackDown the night before, because she was number 3 and had to come out there.
Yeah, and I was so sure they weren't going to do somebody being in there for over an hour again. I was like, damn, I guess we were all wrong about Bayley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, on the subject of that, you could argue that it's a bit of the pendulum swinging the opposite way, because there was a streak for a while where the person would come in at number 30 and win the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And, people never really responded well to that. Like, oh, the last guy comes in, just cleans up a couple of people,
right,
and he wins the Rumble. So,
like Cody did last year.
Like Cody did last year. I think Lesnar's done it before. Cena's done it. So, if I got to choose my winner, I'd much rather have my winner from somewhere early or the middle of the Rumble.
About getting more Bayley. I want the record clear on that.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
You got to think, too, like, looking at the booking of the entrant numbers, it makes me think, like, okay, they put Naomi and Bayley in there for a long, like, over an hour. It makes me think, okay, they chose 2 really good ring veterans who could be in there to help carry some of the younger talent that's in the Rumble. We get littered later with just, other talent.
Yeah, and if you pay attention, Bayley took about 12 people's finishers.
Yeah.
When people entered and went on their little entrance rampage, Bayley was always one of the people.
Yeah, eating it. It's taking it for the,
for the team.
Yeah, for the team, I guess you could say. She also had like 7 eliminations, like more than anybody. Like, nobody else came close to what Bayley did in this Rumble. But
yeah,
and
then
the law.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then we're gonna kind of bog down here, and then it's kind of like a roller coaster ride of entrance. But yeah, go for it.
So yeah, then obviously the next noteworthy entrant we saw was at number 5 when we got the TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordan Gracie entering at number 5. Now, obviously, this isn't unprecedented. We saw Mickie James come in when she was the Knockouts champion. Was it last year or year before last? So this isn't unprecedented, but it's still nice to see WWE reaching outside of the company and bringing other stars in and having them, be able to participate and get some shine on a larger platform.
Yeah.
I think, to me, what was most noteworthy about it is how long she lasted in the Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
Because not only did she just come in for a brief and, get the nice pop and then, all right, we're done with you, bye. No, she showed in. She got in there, showed out, got to really shine, looked great in there, and lasted for a good length of time in the Rumble. She had a remarkable showing, which, again, I think is deserved and, one, shows respect to her as a world champion. It would be kind of shitty if you had somebody come in as the world champion of another company, but you basically just job them out.
Oh yeah,
and
Yeah, well, she looked good, but how many eliminations she had?
0.
Yeah.
So they managed to make her look great without her really going over anybody.
That's the they did it,
which is a good balance.
Very well.
Which I think was a good balance, and I'm pretty sure it was probably something that was negotiated in the deal. Like they probably went back and forth. Like, does she get to eliminate anybody? No, we're not going to let her eliminate anybody, but we'll let her be in the match for 45 minutes or something, or however long she was in.
I hope we get more of this of crossover promotions like this. WWE is always one to we're not going to do that. We're not going to go through the quote unquote forbidden door.
I really love the idea.
I do. It's like any wrestler could show up, a big name like that, and
not
Mickie
even
James,
that. It's like,
oh, go ahead.
It shows how sought after a chance at the WWE Championship is.
Oh yeah, over a different brand.
Outside company want to get in on it. I'd rather see somebody from TNA or Mexico or Japan or whatever than the Boogeyman or Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
Michelle McCool.
Somebody from somebody who's like a rising star on the indie scene or something like that, or like you said, somebody from international, somebody from Japan or something like that coming over and being a part of the Rumble.
That shows how prestigious it is.
It elevates the Rumble, and then obviously gives them other people a chance to shine, because it's like you said, everybody from around the world is coming in for this event. It can only make the Rumble seem more special, and for something that's been going on for over 30 years now, it's still something that holds everybody's interest. But I think we've said it before, it could use a bit of a shot in the arm or something to kind of help spice it up. And bringing in international stars or people outside of WWE into it is one way to do that. Now, obviously, they can't go too far with it because they need to shine and showcase their own roster as well. But I'd be okay with 25 participants from WWE and the other 5 be from outside the WWE each year.
Yeah, I mean, how do you tweak something, a gimmick match that's been the same roughly for 30 plus years? I mean, when we add the women's Rumble, that was basically it. This is the way that they found to tweak this. And when
they played with it before. They did a 40-man Rumble once. It was too fucking long.
Too long. Mm-hmm. When we had when we had Mickie James come before with her title, it was nice. Nice start to this, because we were already familiar with Mickie James as being a former employee of the company. So having somebody like this, who I was like, oh, who's this? And, even my girlfriend was the same. We don't know who this girl is. So, and seeing her, spar with, Bianca Belair. And then even, oh, gosh, she took that nasty elimination from Belair. That was awesome. But, I was like, okay, maybe we'll see her come back and do a match. Maybe, we'll see one of our stars go to Impact Wrestling or go back to TNA for a match. That'd be cool, too, Go ahead. You can take Natalia for the night. We don't need her. So.
Yeah, I mean, if it's somebody lower on the card, then sure. But I think I've seen a lot of people, clamoring for a Bianca Belair Jordynne Grace match, which to me, I think the only winners in that would be the fans. I really don't know how much that would benefit either WWE or TNA, because I don't know if it looks good for TNA for them to send their wrestler to WWE to basically get smoked by the WWE star, and WWE's damn sure not going to let somebody else come in and beat one of their stars. They're not going to bring Jordynne Gracie in and let her beat Bianca Belair in a match. And I don't know if it does any good to have Jordynne Gracie come in there and lose to Bianca. I mean, I guess it'd be okay for cross-promotional if it was a non-title match. I guess you could get by with it. Some people were talking about how making the match for the title, and that makes zero sense at all. Because what the hell sense does it make for Bianca to win a TNA title in WWE? And you're not going to have her come in defending a TNA title at a WWE event and beating one of WWE's top stars. That makes zero sense. So, I mean, if you did it as a cross-promotional exhibition, then I could see, I guess, it being okay and it being cool, especially for WrestleMania, and given that Bianca doesn't appear to have any other program going at this moment unless they're planning something with somebody else. But I think that's about the best I could see as far as any kind of cross-promotion thing like that. And if you did it that way, I'm pretty sure TNA would probably want something on their end too. Okay, we're sending our person to help out your WrestleMania pay-per-view, then send somebody down here for us.
You do have a lot of people on the roster with some deep TNA ties. Lena Vega started there, or was there for a while at any rate. And on the men's side, you got AJ, Lashley, Drew.
But I'm pretty sure they're going to want somebody of a certain caliber. Which I'm thinking if it would be just on the women's side. Obviously, yeah, on the men's side, yeah, you
well,
definitely
it's a tit for
AJ
tat,
Styles jumps off the page.
You let Jordan Gracie beat somebody, and AJ Styles will lose to whoever, or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's how it would work.
Hey Doyle, did you see the excessive amount of hair extensions all over
I certainly
the place?
did, and I have a note about.
Dude, holy crap! The refs had like their hands full, just grabbing all the fake hair and eyelashes. And
it was ridiculous.
Oh my gosh! Who comes out next, Jay?
Well, only the next noteworthy entrants were Asuka and Bianca Belair. Asuka came in at number 7. Mm-hmm. Bianca Belair came in at number 10. So they were the most noteworthy. Here. So I
was going to say, somewhere around here, Cole says, we've never had 2 winners. Yes, we have. 94, Bret Hart and Lex Luger.
Right. I'm like, really?
Gosh.
And Cole had a bad night. He said a couple weird things.
Yeah, some filler wrestlers we had. Between that, we had Indy Hartwell, Ivy, Nile, and Katana Chance. So those are the
Bianca had some fun spots, though. She had 2 women in the corner and climbed the turnbuckle and was punching both of them. Mm-hmm. And then she did like a lion salt kind of move, springboard onto 3 wrestlers. That was pretty cool.
She had good spots. She only had 1 elimination, and that was Jordan Grace. But she
that was one hell of a damn elimination.
Oh yeah,
it was,
dude, a hell yeah. And she was in there for like 47 minutes.
KOD on the outside on the apron. Yeesh.
But like with Bianca in there, she told a story, and we're kind of like, we saw a stare down between her and the TNA Women's Champion. We got some vibes there, and then we see later on her and another wrestler surprise entrant. I mean, they have a moment. I mean, she did. She was given. She made good with it.
Yeah, she made the most of her time in the Rumble, and came out. Didn't come off looking weak. She came out looking as a strong, viable contender that she should be. And just to rewind back a little bit, one of my other favorite moments that I liked from earlier in the Rumble was when Jordan Gracie came out and her and Naomi embraced in the ring. And then immediately got to fighting afterwards. That was another moment that I loved. Because obviously Naomi's last match was with Jordan Gracie, where she dropped the TNA title to her. Yep. So it was nice to see them two see each other, have a genuine embrace, and then immediately pick up where they left off and started fighting.
Yeah, I forgot about that. What? I mean, I'm sure you guys caught it too. While they got Asuka coming out and Kairi Sane. It didn't look like Bayley was too happy to have him out there. Like, the plan was...
Yeah, they didn't explain the commentary. They noted it, but didn't say...
Yeah, but luckily we could kind of... Bayley, the way with her facial expressions and stuff, we could kind of tell the story. Like, hey, you guys weren't supposed to come out. That wasn't the plan. It was supposed to be just me. And then it's like, okay, well, we'll try to work together. And then it seems like they eliminate... I don't think they really eliminate too many.
I will say, though, if that was the story,
right,
that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because, again, all the women on the roster, why would you not think Asuka and Kairi Sane would be a part of the Rumble?
Exactly.
Obviously, they're going to be a part of the Rumble. What I thought was going to be part of the story, I thought we were going to see some betrayal, because when Kairi Sane and Asuka at points in the match were on the verge of getting it eliminated, who was the person that was always coming to save them? It was Bayley.
Yeah, I saw
Bayley
that.
Came, she saved them from elimination on multiple occasions throughout the match.
Yep.
Similar to what we saw back in War Games when she broke up the pins on all of them at one point in the match when one of them was about to get pinned. It was, again, Bayley making the save. And then she's doing the same thing here in the Rumble. That made me think for a second that she was going to lose, because I was thinking they're setting it up that, okay, she's saving everybody else, but when she's on the verge of getting eliminated, she's going to get left hanging. Mm-hmm. And she's going to end up getting tossed out, and then Kairi Sane and Asuka would still be in the ring and just be like, oh, well. And I thought that was going, or they might end up eliminating her themselves, and the betrayal was going to happen in the match, which obviously it didn't, and we just the match kind of lulled for, I won't say lulled, but nothing of significance happened for a while until Nia Jax came in at 19, And then we started seeing some people get up out the paint. Nia Jax came in there and started tossing folks out left and right, whittling down the ring, because at that point the ring had started to get pretty crowded because nobody was really being eliminated. And then we got Becky Lynch at 21, which came to a nice good pop. And then the most unexpected entrance of the entire night at number 24.
Alba Fire. Oh.
Nope. R-Truth came in at number 24 in the Rumble.
Oh, God. That was great. It was a good segment. So
what was Cole? Cole was going crazy about Valhalla's antlers. What the hell was that all about?
I don't fucking understand that shit.
Cole being fucking weird.
Yeah, and Truth is becoming known for his Royal Rumble antics, right? Didn't he set up a ladder one year and climb it, expecting to see a briefcase or whatever? I forget what else he's done. I feel like he's done other shenanigans.
I'm sure he's done other things, but now that we don't have Kofi doing his little save himself antics anymore,
good.
That'll put a spotlight on the shit that R-Truth does going forward.
Yeah. Backtrack a little bit. Cole again. When Maxine Dupree came out, he said the heavily improved Maxine Dupree, who then immediately botched like 3 moves in a row.
I'll find it.
That was good.
Yeah. We had
when Cole calls Piper, Niven, Nia, and then Nia comes out like next. That was kind of weird. Chelsea Green, when she comes out, Cole says her attire is what was the word he used? Interesting or something. It was a pride flag, and and I saw an interview with her where she was like, "Yeah, I definitely was wearing a pride flag because I was in Florida and I wanted people to see it." Specific, because she's like, I know exactly where I was, and what I knew that's going to be on social media 5 minutes later. So good on her for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely props to her.
She was one of the stars of this Royal Rumble for me, Chelsea Green. Holy shit, is she funny? When she gets jumped out and Piper catches her and pretends to drop her, was fucking great. And then she gets caught in the middle of a fucking hoss fight between Nia and Piper, and she just gets destroyed. But she stayed in there for like, I don't know, 15 minutes or something. Good on her. I don't think she had any eliminations, but
no.
Boy, was she funny.
Yeah, you're right. That was one of the better spots of the Rumble, was just Chelsea just getting caught up in the middle of other people's fights and just getting absolutely wrecked.
Oh, man.
But somehow not being eliminated.
Yeah, she sold it great. Like,
She's great.
I think it also picked up a little bit. Well, yeah, I mean, like what we had shot. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw when Shotzi grew her hair back out. It's green again.
Yeah, it's grown out. It's grown out some, obviously, since she shaved it. It's continuing to grow.
They also did a good job, I think, booking like Nia to look pretty damn strong in this Rumble. Where like just like nobody could take her out. She had like 7 other women like trying to eliminate her, and she's just booking it as the strongest one in the Rumble. I mean, even like bigger women like Piper and Evan couldn't do nothing to her. And then we had Becky Lynch come out. So like, yeah, it was refreshing at 21, I think, to have Becky come out.
Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, I was saying, yeah, you're right. Nia was looking totally dominant in that match until number 28 came out.
Oh, dude, like
he got the moment that we were all wondering if it was going to happen and looking forward to. We got the debut of Jade Cargill in WWE, and boy, did she have a debut! If you want to teach somebody like a big deal and then sell it right from the jump, this is how you fucking did it. She came out to a massive pop, and the camera immediately went to Nia Jax reacting to it, and then she got in that ring and fucking treated Nia Jax like light work.
Dude, she picked up Nia Jax like she was nothing.
Nothing.
Dude, I was like, like the way she did it, I was like, holy shit, because there was no struggle. It wasn't a slow thing. It was a fast.
Not one leg shook. Not one quad shook.
Nothing.
Straight squat.
Dude, I was very impressed because I've seen I
said she would come in and
because I've seen other women lift Nia or but like not like that, and I think I did hear that she may have had issues like remembering spots. There was an issue backstage about she was missing spots, but I'm like. Well, first off, I'm like, how many fucking people have to go and do a Royal Rumble as their first fucking match? Of course it's going to be difficult. That's a lot of shit to remember for your first fucking match on TV for this company. Like, I don't...
And on that that big of a stage.
Exactly. And like, you're in the ring with people you're not familiar with, like a lot of veterans in there. And it's not like one or two people. You're talking like 7, 8 people in the ring. And you got to remember, I totally get it. So, like, I was just like, when I saw that...
Did she ever do a battle royal in AEW?
That's the thing. Like, I was thinking, too. It's like,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So it's like, cut her some fucking slack. I kind of rolled my eyes when I saw that. I was like, geez, shut the fuck up. I'm like...
I mean, I'll say this. If she did miss a spot, I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either.
Yeah, and exactly. I could not tell. She looked comfortable in that ring. Yep. I'm not saying she looked like a seasoned veteran, but she looked comfortable. She looked like she knew what she was doing. The moments that she had, she looked strong. Like I said, squatting freaking Nia Jax like nothing, dumping her outside, treating her like light work, working with other people. She looked good in that ring.
Yeah,
and I think that was
I think she exceeded expectations.
Yeah,
absolutely. For that debut.
Go ahead.
Hey, I was saying, for a debut like that, you could not have asked for anything better. She had about as good of a debut as you could possibly have for a star of her caliber in WWE, and she got what was probably the spot of I won't say the spot, but the moment of the entire match, the one that I've seen be shared more than anything else in the entire Women's Royal Rumble, and arguably shared more than anything on this whole damn PLE, was the moment where she is bench pressing, Becky Lynch, and Bianca is bench pressing, I think it was Ivy Nile or somebody.
Yeah, something
and then they turn around and realize they're both doing the same thing, and then walk towards each other, drop the drop the people behind them, and then have that stare down, and you saw the crowd absolutely erupt, like, let's go.
I think it was
that was the moment of the match.
Piper,
it
was Tiffany.
She looked like she belonged, right? Moment was not for her, and and like you said, they did a great job teasing her future. With Nia, with Becky, with Bayley, with Naomi, of course. Bianca, so many moving parts. It's got to be tough, And she kind of still has like a deliberateness a little bit, if that's a word. But I think they used her pretty much perfectly. She was dominant without doing too much, and ultimately in the end, she gets outmaneuvered by 2 more experienced wrestlers.
Number 30, Liv Morgan.
Welcome back, Liv.
Yeah, welcome back. Like, I kind of expected her to be 30. Like, I was like, okay, well, she hasn't come out yet. Like, it's not going to be anybody else. It's going to be her. So, she was only in for like 6.5 minutes, but she eliminated 2 people. So, not too bad. And one of them was Jade. So Jade Cargill. So, good on you. Like, but. I'd say that this Rumble was pretty damn good for a women's Rumble. I mean, I liked it. I totally marked out when Jade came out. I was just like,
you fucking mark.
Yep, marked out.
Yeah. I agree. This was a good Rumble.
Like,
obviously, Bayley came out on top. I think the finish was a little bit. It was fitting for Bayley as far as her character, in terms of seeing other people on the verge of elimination and her pouncing at the moment to take out 2 people for the win. Obviously, that's in character for her. I think personally, I would have liked it more to see it come down to a 1-on-1 and have her scrap it out with somebody for the last spot. But I'm okay with it.
That was like kind of exactly how it ended last year on the 8th.
Last year it came down to. Well, no, they did do it like a somewhat quick elimination last year. Because I think Rhea and Liv, it was Rhea, Liv, and Asuka, right? Were the final three.
It's like and they were on the apron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think last year's was executed a bit better because it was all three of them on the apron, pretty much just trading blows, and it could have been argued. I mean, we kind of all knew Rhea was going to win, but they pretty much played it out as if any one of them could go, and then. They had the spot with Asuka blinding Liv, and Liv is still fighting blind, but managed to, I think, eliminate Asuka, and then almost got Liv out until almost got Rhea out, and then Rhea managed to, freaking flip her out. So I think last year's finale was executed better than this year's. This year's was just kind of pretty standard fare of, okay, two people hanging on, and then here comes Bayley, out to go the both of you. And that's it.
Well, I think
I like that.
I was gonna say overall, I think
I like the shot of Jade, Liv, Tiffany, and Bianca kind of all on the outside watching Bayley celebrate. He was there too. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if that's 5/6 of the elimination chamber.
No, there you go.
But yeah, Bayley was absolutely the right call, and like one of the only accolades she didn't have. Right, she was the first Grand Slam champion. I think she's won Money in the Bank. What else is there? I guess they've only done Queen of the Ring a handful of times. I don't think she's won that, but
no.
I mean, the only thing left for her is what's possibly coming her way now, which is main eventing WrestleMania, depending on how they book the card.
Yep. I think
she's got to be. It's got to be Io, right? I mean,
it's got to be.
The Rhea's just a tease, right? It has to be Io.
Yeah.
I think almost certainly. I think they've been teasing that or leaning that way for far too long of, Bayley getting kicked out of Damage Control or what have you. Granted, they've done their best of trying to, send people in the opposite direction with Bayley talking about, I'm challenging Rhea, and after this, I'm going after Rhea and Damage Control and yada, yada, yada. But I think they may have seemingly planted the seed this past Monday when Bayley's giving her speech about winning, and then Rhea comes out to shut that down, and then Nia immediately shuts that down by whooping Rhea's ass in the ring and getting up in Bayley's face, to which Bayley immediately kind of cowered, like, hey, all right, cool. I ain't doing shit. I'll make my decision Friday. And then they automatically show the shot of Io outside the ring, like, hold up, bitch, what you talking about? Oh, we had a plan here.
Yeah.
So overall,
I think we're going to see something probably go down this Friday on SmackDown.
It's gonna be like Batista with Evolution.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we've the meme has been made already.
So overall, I think I would give this like a 4.5 out of 5. Like for me, I liked it. It had a bunch of Raw, a bunch of SmackDown, a good mixture of both. We had 2 NXT superstars. We had a TNA.
How great did Tiffany Stratton look, by the way?
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, she had definitely a strong showing in the Rumble. Like, I think anybody who's seen her perform knows that Tiffany can absolutely hold her own in a match
for sure,
with anybody on the main roster at this point in time. She just needs more development of her character itself. But in the ring, oh no, there's nothing to question about Tiffany Stratton in the ring. And I think once more people get to see eyes on her, she's going to be, and I'm going to say this now, she'll eventually be in the debate for best moonsault ever in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because anybody who's seen her moonsault, that thing is
nice.
Flawless.
Yeah.
Trey,
I ain't seen a moonsault that nice since probably Kurt Angle.
What would you rate this match out of 5 stars?
I'd say 4 out of 5.
Cool.
I think it was a good Rumble. It had like I said, good strong moments. I like Jordan Gracie had a strong showing. Jade Cargill's debut was excellent. Nia Jax got to look strong without completely squashing anybody. We got good comedy bits from R-Truth and Chelsea Green.
Yeah, right. Like dead middle of it, to keep it up and going.
Yeah. The only part where it kind of fell flat, where the women's Rumble fell flat for me, was just the finish. I thought the finish was a little bit weak, but other than that, I thought it was a great Rumble.
There you go, Doyle.
I'd go 3 3/4 stars on it. I liked it. I liked it better than the men's match, which we'll get to.
Yeah,
It was fun. So, what do you guys think is next for Jade, though, going forward?
Find her roster to be on. Right now, she doesn't know where she's going. I think she should go to Raw.
Okay. It looks like it's either Nia or Bianca, right? Those are like the two. I don't think they should rush the Bianca thing.
Oh no, I see. If
not.
anything, from what
I've
seen, is Bianca and her as a tag team.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I would much rather see them paired up and be allies than just being immediate enemies off the top. Like, no.
Like Jade and Bianca versus the Kabuki Warriors for the titles at Mania might be a pretty nice match.
That'd be an unstoppable That'd be a badass women's tag team right there.
And you've got her in there with 3 awesome workers that can help make her look good.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, because if you make them adversaries off the top, then you've got nowhere to go.
Yeah,
like that to me, that's reeks of hot shot booking. Yeah. Oh, we get the quick thing, and then what?
Yeah, it's
people want it. Everybody knows it's going to happen at some point.
Yep.
Take your time.
Build them up. How about if it doesn't sound like we're going to get Sasha, but if we did, what about Bianca and Jade versus Sasha and Naomi for the titles? They never lost.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fucking badass and shit too.
That could be a hell of a feud. Like, there's plenty of places you can go with them being paired up together. Plus, that allows you to keep Bianca involved in something prominent without being constantly around the title picture and constantly, either dominating by holding the title or losing constant challenges.
And you can still trot her out to all the stuff you're trotting her out to with a belt on her shoulder. Think of how badass the two of them would look walking around. Like,
real badass.
Yep. I'm all for that if you're gonna put them on the same show. Yep. If not that, then that would be my first choice. I would say if not that, then you can have one on Raw, one on SmackDown. They both just kind of doing their thing, dominating, and just kind of checking each other. Like, I see you over there. I see you too, girl.
You're the
and then admiring each other from afar before they eventually, come to a head. But I think I'd rather see them be directly paired up together
in a stable with the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley.
Now, how do you guys feel about the crowd? It sounded dead as shit, except for in certain spots. But it sounded really dead on TV. I've heard reports that it was not that way in person. But I don't know if the crowd was mic'd up weird or what.
It did seem like the pops, like you could tell they were big pops, but it's like the volume wasn't coming through the way you would think.
Yeah, but I'm also wondering, do we have a theme song problem? Like,
no, I made a new one not too long ago. Oh, you mean for the pay-per-view?
Yeah, less so in the men's match, but I felt like a lot of these women weren't getting reactions because nobody know. Like, I don't know what their theme song is. You know what I mean?
That was a big complaint I saw, and it's so true. It's like
everybody knew Jade's.
Yeah, everybody has like this generic fucking rock music. Like, ever since we got rid of like, I think the last good one was CFO Money. Once we got rid of them, it's like this theme music has just been generic garbage, and it seems like 1 out of every 10 will get something good, and it's it's hard. It's hard to get a theme music that sticks. And I can think of, like, do you guys remember Wade Barrett? There was a time where I felt like Wade Barrett would change his theme music like every few weeks. It's just like he just kept changing it because they could never find music that worked for Wade Barrett. And it's like every time I would hear it, I can never tell you what his theme music is because I couldn't remember. It was just not memorable.
You gotta give stuff time to cook.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta give stuff time to cook. You gotta make it catchy. Like Shinsuke enters the Rumble later, and he's a heel, but yet like they were singing his theme music and they were singing it long and loud. So,
sure, and I think part of that is them not really some lack of investment in the women as compared to the men. Like,
yeah, I mean,
the men they almost certainly want to give them something. Yeah, with the men they almost certainly want to give them something that's unique to their character,
right?
And that is a fully formed character. Whereas a lot of the women, admittedly, some of the women don't appear to have as fully formed individual characters like we see on the men's side. There are some that obviously have fully developed characters, and those are usually the ones that are towards the top of the roster. And they all have obviously noteworthy themes that we can immediately recognize. People like Becky and Bianca, Liv Morgan, Rhea, Charlotte. They have those immediately recognizable themes. Outside of that,
yeah. Nothing.
Yeah. And yet, obviously, but people still immediately recognize Jade's, which I'm pretty sure that was not her AEW theme that they use. I don't know that Jade has her own theme that she owns or not, but it seemed like as soon as she hit, I don't know if it was maybe that people saw her before the cameras got to her, and that's how the pop came that eventually just spread throughout the crowd like a wave, but I don't know. I think, they do need to kind of invest more in some of these women's themes and character development as opposed to just putting them out there as, another wrestler in shorts and boots and a sports bra.
If you're not wrestling for a championship, you're basically hardly there,
Mm-hmm. Which brings me to my favorite 3 words again about the women's division. Mid-card title.
Speaking of titles,
that brings us to the next match, which was Roman Reigns defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship of Intergalactic Proportions against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight in a fatal 4-way match. Yeah, Roman won.
19 minutes and 30 seconds, dude.
Logan.
I was saying 19 minutes and 30 seconds, but how much of that was entrance? Oh, God. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I felt like the first 10 minutes was all entrance. And I don't know. I don't know if that was counted.
Yeah, well, I mean, LA Knight has the Slim Jim sponsorship, so they had to get that crossover in. So LA Knight got his specialized Slim Jim entrance. And the match started off, they all jumped on Reigns, started whooping him, then paired off in their own fights. They fight, they continue. Enter the Bloodline, well, specifically Solo, who comes out there, starts wrecking people. And then ultimately, Reigns hit the spear on Styles, gets the pin, retains the title. Pretty much went exactly as we all expected it to go because Roman Reigns was not dropping this shit to none of them 3 motherfuckers. So the only question to be asked really is what's next for the other 3. We know what's next for Roman. He's heading to WrestleMania to defend against probably one of 2 people, TBD.
Yeah.
What the hell are Randy, AJ, and LA going to do?
That's a
moving
good
forward.
Fucking question, dude, because, we do have a mid-card title that we still don't really have a WrestleMania match booked for. 2 mid-card titles, really, we don't have WrestleMania matches booked for. I mean, but is that beneath some of these guys? But, where else do they go from here? Styles is now a heel. Orton's, he's on this run of coming back so recent, and LA Knight was the workhorse while these guys were gone, and like it was at the peak of his popularity right now. And it's funny because everybody kind of got their little moment to shine in this match. Like LA Knight made like the first pin attempt, and then you got like Styles like right after, and it's all on Roman too. And then Randy Orton was giving RKO's all around to everybody before Solo interfered, which it's like fuck, here we go again. Like Solo had to interfere, and then he got speared through the barricade. And he almost took out the ring announcer. I don't know if you saw how close he was.
Yeah, I appreciate that shit. Motherfucker almost killed Samantha Irvin.
He's so
calm the fuck down, Solo.
Yeah, he was going like 100 miles an hour. I was like, damn, dude, calm down. Like, you gotta fucking kill that girl. She's so small. And okay, so we did talk about how was he gonna stack him like he did when he fought Daniel Bryan and Edge. And he did stack him, but like, could you imagine just like being Orton? Or I don't even know what's more awkward. Is it being Orton, the guy at the bottom, or being LA Knight, who is draped over him for like 2.5 minutes? And 2.5 minutes doesn't sound long.
Way too long.
Yeah. 2.5 minutes does not sound long, but when you're draped over another man who's also sweating and no t-shirt on, it's a little fucking awkward. And I don't care who you are. Like, he had him draped over. He was just like laying on top of him for like the longest time, and then like AJ Styles took out Roman Reigns and then stacked him, which was kind of like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And then then
tries to go for a pin, and Roman's shoulders aren't even the fuck down.
Yeah, and
he was just there for extra weight.
Yeah, and the other two just kick out. So, but that's just dude. We all knew Roman was leaving, and that's a pretty damn good question. I don't know where any of these guys go. I would really like to see LA Knight. If we do get the Rumble winner versus maybe Reigns, we'll talk about that later. But like, I much rather see that, and then maybe LA Knight go for like a world title win, or I thought of because we still have the Money in the Bank briefcase. Like, I don't know how or why he hasn't cashed in on somebody who's been fucking injured. You think that would be the perfect opportunity to cash in on a world title with the briefcase, is when the guy is fucking injured. It could come to the point where that does happen, and Damian goes in as a heel champion, and it's not what we want, but that's what we could get. And you have somebody who everybody loves, L.A. Knight, come in and be the knight in shining armor and take the world title. But, I mean, who knows at this point?
Honestly, you know what? I don't see LA Knight in the world title picture
for a while.
Anytime in the immediate future. I think he's destined probably for. Obviously, he still needs to maintain his momentum, and I think WWE still needs to take advantage of it while he still has it. But my guess is that he's probably destined for a mid-card title for at least a little while. So that way he is at least a champion.
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
Yeah. I mean, in the immediate future, I think these three are probably going to be three of the 6 entrants in the Elimination Chamber match next month.
100.
And then the other 3 will come from Raw. Probably like, who knows, like Jey Uso and some others. I think that's probably in the immediate future. After that, we'll see what the hell AJ and Orton have going into WrestleMania. And I think
I would be surprised to see AJ and Randy wrestle at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, they could very well just have a one-on-one match. Maybe something goes down in the Elimination Chamber that puts them on a collision course going into WrestleMania, while LA Knight splinters off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. While LA splinters off and probably is, like you said, destined for Logan Paul for the U.S. title. And then he gets his WrestleMania moment of becoming a champion.
Yep.
There you go, man. And yeah, that match was only 19 minutes and 30 seconds after the 1 hour Rumble we just had. So it seemed like it was very short. It felt very short of a match. Like I said, maybe it's just because of the long entrances and the introductions and the blah, 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 blah. So.
Yeah. I mean, and if you had any doubt that Roman was going to win, I think the fact that it was second on the card just sealed the deal.
Yeah,
because when Roman finally loses, it's going to be the last thing that happens on a given show. It is not the second match of the evening.
Fuck no.
Even if there's only 4 matches.
Right.
I thought it was kind of crazy that Roman's never defended in a fatal 4-way in this whole time he's been champion. That was kind of did not know that stat. Yeah. And you know how much WWE loves multi-person matches. I just found that interesting.
Yeah, another notch under Roman's belt. Yeah. So, following this, we got the next match that was not a Rumble match in the form of the United States Championship match with Logan Paul defending against Kevin Owens. This is where, I'm going to be honest, this is where my long day took its toll because I fell asleep in this fucking match. I ain't gonna lie. I fell asleep during this match, and when I woke up, there were 2 people in the men's rumble beating the crap out of each other. I had to read up on how it.
Did you wake up like the beginning of the rumble, the men's, or like towards like the end?
Oh no, it was the beginning. It was the beginning.
Or at least you thought.
Like I said, I woke up. There were 2 people in the match beating the crap out of each other, and I was like, I ain't gonna lie. I had maybe about a good maybe 5 to 10 seconds of panic when I woke up because I just woke up and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Oh, where am I? I'm looked over at the TV and I'm like, oh fuck, damn, I missed the whole damn match. What the hell? Where are we at in the Rumble? And then I see the countdown like, oh, okay, it just started.
Oh, well, yeah, listen, I was in a different time zone and didn't remember that things happen in different times in different time zones. So I'm walking around on vacation. I go back to the hotel at 7:30 thinking, oh, yeah, I'll put this on, blah, 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 get ready. And sure enough, it was half of because it started half an hour before that. 7:30 was 8:30, not 7:30.
Yeah, I mean...
so you weren't the only one that had problems.
Yeah, but you know what, though? Like,
I can't say too much about this match itself other than, I guess apparently it ended in some controversy and Kevin Owens beat the crap out of Logan Paul after the match or something. But
yeah, so
other than that, I really can't say much about this.
They didn't do a great job on commentary explaining it. And like, you know what happened, right? KO used brass knuckles, and the referee saw that they were still on Kevin Owens' hand. What commentary didn't tell us was it was the same referee from the last match where Logan Paul used the brass knuckles on Rey Mysterio. So he was looking for brass knuckles, and that's why he was so alerted to them.
Well, so that backstory would have been fucking nice because I was just like, oh, look, a ref who's actually doing his job. He like immediately booked out or like kicked out one of Logan Paul's buddies who came to help him, which we figured it was going to be somebody, a no-name person, and then he catches Kevin Owens with the brass knuckles and he loses by DQ. So like Logan Paul gets the save of not being pinned. And, I guess also Kevin Owens losing but not getting pinned. Like, I guess it protects both of these guys, but why now But I just heard recently that Logan Paul is now fully signed, like a full-time member of the roster. I heard that as of yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm hoping we see more of him. But unfortunately, this was a snooze of a match for me.
Yeah,
I can see why you fell asleep. It sucks. I mean, maybe it's because of like what they had to follow. They had to follow. We're talking about a United States title match having to follow the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match, and then also having a men's Royal Rumble match after this. It's like everybody's kind of like. All right, let's
I
go to
thought
the bathroom.
at least
let's
if
get
we're
popcorn.
having they were having the 4-way earlier, it meant that we might get some of those guys in the Rumble. But I guess that went out the window.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I don't understand why that match wasn't second.
Yeah, they should have booked it like that. Yeah, I agree. But
If they weren't going to use the guys again, why not have them go on third? It doesn't make sense.
Get the U.S. title match out the way and then do the.
Yeah,
Do,
I thought they did a decent job selling KO's hand injury.
Oh yeah,
which is a kayfabe injury, but his foot apparently is really broken in real life, but they're not. But he has a fake broken hand.
Yep, WWE logic for you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Don't acknowledge the real injury, but sell the hell out of this fake one.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm ready to move on to the men's rumble.
Yep, our main event, the men's Royal Rumble match. Started off as with our number one entrant, main event, Jey Uso. And number two, the husband of the number two entrant in the women's Royal Rumble. That being Jay's brother, Jimmy.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
So
Seth and Becky were both number 15 last year. It's very cute.
Very.
gotta love numerology.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome though, because like the face that Jay made when Jimmy's music fucking hit, it was priceless. He just looked over so like, man, you gotta be shitting me, you know, like it was good because we got the vibes of like what we could have at WrestleMania. There's so many wonderful memes that came out, and I think my favorite one is the comparison of the end of Into the Spideyverse with Miles Morales seeing himself. Fucking perfect.
Well, here's the thing.
Go for it.
Nothing about Jimmy's character makes any fucking sense. I get why Jay is pissed at Jimmy, but why is Jimmy mad at Jay? It makes no sense.
Right.
Jimmy's reassociation with the bloodline makes no sense either. It's just like,
yeah.
I wish they would try to explain something.
Right. But it made for a good moment with them having that stare down and then, teasing a little bit of that of what's potentially to come at WrestleMania. Which is kind of what the secondary job of the Rumble is set up future storylines, give the crowd nice moments and teases and stuff. And this was probably at the top of the tease of all teases. This one probably just as much of a tease as Bianca and as Bianca and Jade's tease was, if not more so.
Yeah, no, I mean we've expected this match for months now. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and they found a good way to keep them separated until the Rumble. And
I remember when they separated. I remember we all said, "How the fuck are they going to keep them away from each other that long?"
I know.
And now they're here, and it's how are we going to get them back together to face each other?
Oh, they'll fucking figure it out. I'm sure. So we'll go full circle with this shit. But continue, Dre.
Yep. So. Like I said, going off from there, obviously we got the yeets and the nose and the yeets and the nose and the continuing until at number 3, we got our first surprise entrant on the men's side, a returning Andrade, who came out to a respectable pop. So it was nice to see
4.
him.
Yeah, he was 4.
Was he 4?
Grayson Waller was 3.
Oh, you're right about that. You're right.
But yeah, it was
Grayson
great
Waller
to see
was number 3 in his ugly ass fucking
yeah.
basketball short outfit.
His outfit is so fucking weird, dude.
Well, here's the thing about Andrade. And speaking of theme songs, he had a fucking awesome theme song before.
He did.
So they changed that, and so they bring him out, and I guess he says El Idolo at the beginning, but they bring him out with a different theme song, and he's wearing a mask. Like, is that the best way to re-debut somebody? Like, if you're going to change the theme song, at least show us who the hell he is, Right. I just thought that was I know that's part of his gimmick or whatever, but I just thought that was a weird choice to not only change the theme, but stick him in a mask and throw him out there.
Yeah. I think it did kind of dampen what could have been arguably a larger pop from him had the crowd been able to immediately react, as opposed to being
if I'm
like
in the crowd, I'm confused.
Yeah, as opposed to having that. Who the hell is this? Oh, it's that guy. Hey.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he was followed up by Carmelo Hayes making his Royal Rumble debut at number 5, followed by the heel who got everybody to sing for him any damn way because it's the Rumble and that's what we do now. Shinsuke Nakamura at number 6.
Yep.
And then, you know, most Rumbles for the most part pretty standard fare. It really was, honestly, on the men's side. There really wasn't a whole lot of surprises or anything outside of really like Andrade. They kind of really went through the paces. I mean, you had Lashley at 11, you know, and then we got that. I mean, I guess that was a bit of a cool moment with Lashley at 11, and then he eliminated Karrion Kross. Then Karrion Kross got him eliminated. Authors of Pain are out there. Then the Street Profits show up to fight the Authors of Pain.
But they sent 2 female referees to stop the Authors of Pain.
Right, to stop AOP. AOP come out the shop, and the 2 women get in front of him like, no! Like, what the fuck was that? Like,
Dirty Dom got so many boos, and he came out. Ooh.
Yep.
How about Carlito? Like, it's bad enough to get spit in the face with an apple. It's even worse if that apple's been in some guy's balls.
Oh, dude.
God knows how long.
He pulled the apple out of his fucking shorts, and I was like, where? Why'd you smuggle that out?
You know, and it's a wonder Carlito doesn't choke, because, like, he'd take a bite of an apple, he'll, like, bump, and then he'll have to spit it out. Like, one of these days, he's going to, like,
choke.
Somebody's going to have to give him the Heimlich maneuver.
Right. Yeah, I would say it was a good seeing that, you know, that beef was not completely ignored, and it is still kind of what I want to see in the feud between, you know, I guess Final Testament and the Pride, I guess, if that's what Lashley and Prophets are calling themselves.
Calling them that yet, but
I don't know if they have, but I thought I heard
I think Graves said something like Lashley's Pride is like.
Yeah, no, I think there was that moment. But I also think, like, on the SmackDown the night before, I thought I heard Tez or Dawkins, one of them, referred to another one as Lion.
Oh, that might be. Sure.
I think that happened as well. So I don't know if it's official yet, but, you know, for the sake of not saying Lashley and the Street Profits over and over again, well, I'm just going to call them the Pride for the time being.
I thought he called them
between
Mufasa
Final Testament and Pride.
How great was Ludwig Kaiser avoiding them while he was walking down the ramp?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First German in the Royal Rumble, I believe.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think I saw it the other day. He set a record. You didn't see this brand new spanking record broken? It is broken by WWE reports. Jeez, out of the gajillions of other fucking records. Yeah, I saw. I think he was like the first German born.
Is it not famous? It was Ludwig Borga, not a actual German.
I guess not.
Oh, no, that motherfucker was probably from fucking North Dakota or some shit. But I would say among, at least in the early to mid parts of the men's Rumble, I would say probably the most noteworthy thing was Braun Breaker entering at number 20 and absolutely wrecking shop. Because apparently
it wasn't Cody getting a full intro with Pyro in the middle of the thing.
Oh, I noticed that too. I'm like,
yeah,
this is what we're doing.
Number 15, which I was happy they put him slap right in the middle.
Well, Braun supposedly took Brock's spot and did basically all the things Brock would have done.
You know what? Like, when he came out, I thought that, and I have it here, like, if you don't mind, I kind of have it here what he did, because they said move for move is like the spots that he did, that was all for Brock, like you said. Gunther and Braun Breaker have a stare down after Braun came in and attacked Jimmy Uso, Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor. Then he eliminated Jimmy Uso and Finn Balor. So right there, he's taking one person from the bloodline out and taking somebody from Judgment Day, which will later come to bite him in the ass. And then after him and Gunther have this stare down, which I was like, right then and there, I was like, oh, wait, this feels like something they would have had Brock do. And, like, you know, coming in, spearing guys and going through 3 guys and tossing 2 over the rope. And then Omos comes out, you know, and so Omos and him, you know, kind of had a little thing. And I was like, okay, yeah, this definitely feels like Brock vibes. And, you know, the spear that fucking got me was the one he did to Ivar, and Ivar jumped off of the rope, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And then Braun was the guy to eliminate Omos, right? And like right after he eliminates Omos, Dirty Dom comes up and eliminates him. And I was
MVP.
like, oh man. I was like, okay. So, you know, he eliminated Finn Balor, so Dom kind of gets him for it. But I was like, man, like this feels like something they would have had for Brock. And we later find out that that's true, and we also find out that they were going to book Brock versus Dominic at Elimination Chamber. Which I kind of...
Admittedly, that would have been funny, but
I would have loved
that would have been
it.
a fucking waste unless Dom won.
Yeah, it would have been like a bunch of Judgment Day jumping in, but like think about like that would have made him super face, you know, like putting him against fucking Dom and Judgment Day, like that would make him go face. And like, what's that leading
Brock's pretty
into?
Much
though?
in that face role right now,
right? But what's that lead? What was that going to lead into? Him going into WrestleMania as a super face, then, like
against the super heel Gunther.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. So
speaking of Gunther, during his intro when he stopped to chew out Ludwig Kaiser for getting eliminated, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, you know, and
Kofi, I felt bad for Kofi, man. He got a huge pop and it just died, I think, when people realized he wasn't Big E.
Dude, that's the thing about
that music, glad to see him just get eliminated, though, and hopefully we're retiring the Kofi spot because he's fucked it up like 3 years.
Yeah, I think he acknowledged that. I think a year or two ago that he was done with that.
There's multiple times like with their theme music, you always think that Big E was coming back, especially with the Rumble. Like, I thought
it too.
It was like, oh, it's Kofi.
Yeah, I damn sure thought it was possible this time for a moment because Xavier came out, and then it hit again for Kofi, and I was like, okay, if we hear that music one more time.
Oh, yeah, right? I got so excited. But, dude, the Pat McAfee spot, 38 seconds of a wasted spot. That's what pissed me off the most. It's like, you wasted this spot for literally no reason. Like, was there something we didn't know? Like, was there another wrestler on the card who just couldn't make it? And this was your suggestion? Like, a lot of people thought that, you know, he was the one filling in the Brock spot, which would have been the most obvious because it was completely fucking pointless.
And he tried to play it off like he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
He went on his show. He was like, I didn't know about it. It was like bull fucking shit. There's no way. Like, everybody knew just to stop when you came in and to, you know.
Right. Everybody's doing, stop wrestling. This is the Pat spot.
Yep. Dre, what about how we got...
You know who that spot should have gone to? Real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. Real quick. You know who that spot should have gone to instead of Pat McAfee? Trick motherfucking Williams.
Yeah.
Let him get that spot, and you could have done a little something between him and Carmelo Hayes in that ring.
Yep.
To help further their storyline. And we could have got a big-ass 40,000 strong whoop that Trick chant in fucking Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So we got...
What the fuck do I know?
Unfortunately, we got JD McDonough. He was only in for like 3 seconds. And R-Truth came in. So, and then we got The Miz.
You're burying the lead. R-Truth tagged in.
Yeah,
dude.
Oh my god.
Over that
yes,
part.
I totally forgot about that part. Getting
the hot tag.
In. The way the crowd was all for it too. Like, R-Truth is fucking slaying it right now in the business. Like, And then, he got eliminated by Damian Priest, so, the
honestly,
crowd
I
was
wish they
pissed.
would have let R-Truth clear the ring a little bit more.
Yeah,
I don't
right?
mean like in terms of eliminating people,
Yeah.
just fully lean into the hot tag moment and just have them just whooping everybody's ass in the ring.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Just
really
punching and
expecting
dropping
him to
people
get a
left
little
and right,
run.
just hitting all this stuff, and just if you're going to do that spot, fully lean into it. Lean all the way in and just have him just lay out everybody in the ring, whooping ass, and then get tossed out.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have a nice little run. I was kind of surprised that he didn't, but he stole the show.
He absolutely did. And just to backtrack, again a little bit, going back to Braun Breaker when he came in the ring, and obviously filling the Brock Lesnar role. I think that's a win for WWE because I think Braun Breaker looked better in that moment doing what he did in the ring than Brock Lesnar would have looked had it been Brock Lesnar in that moment. Because, if it would have been Lesnar, obviously you get the pop because Lesnar's back, yada, yada, he'd have got the pop. But once he got in the ring, what would we have gotten? Germans, clotheslines over the top rope, F5s. That's it. We would not have gotten, and it wouldn't have looked anywhere near as kinetic and dynamic as what we got with Braun Breaker. In terms of Braun Breaker hitting those fucking ropes as hard as he does with all that speed and momentum and spearing the shit out of people and laying folks out. Like, Braun Breaker actually gave us more than 3 moves and looked good. And even that stare down with Omos, that looked more interesting than what we've gotten with a stare down between Brock and Omos, because we've seen Brock and Omos before.
Yeah.
We've been there, done that.
And I don't want to see it again.
Exactly. At least getting a stare down between Braun Breaker and Omos is something new. And it's also a challenge because obviously we've seen Braun Breaker coming in here laying out all these other folk. All right, here come the big dude. What you got, Braun? What you gonna do? So I think, honestly, I think it's low-key a win for WWE that we got Braun in that spot as opposed to Lesnar.
So
who else looked good was Ivar. Man, I'll tell you, the best thing that ever happened to him was that other Viking getting hurt.
Oh, Eric.
Yeah.
But he has looked good and continues to look good. And he had a nice showing. I don't know how many eliminations he had or whatever, but he looked good in there. He didn't look like some fucking ham and egger,
Dude, I didn't realize
Agreed.
Braun Breaker's only 26 years old.
I think it's going to be hard to keep him still down on NXT after that Rumble showing he had.
6 foot, 230 pounds.
You would think he's got to make his main roster debut this year now.
Wait, they name dropped him, didn't they? Didn't Aldis get a call and he's like, "Oh, it's Braun Breaker. I got to take this."
Maybe. I mean, and I guess so. And that could have been them teasing for Friday. Obviously improvising in the spot after telling Lesnar to go and take it back to the crib.
Yeah.
That could have been it, but he shows up. He has a showing like that. I know we all thought that Braun Breaker was going to be one of the guys that we saw post WrestleMania last year after his NXT run, but he's spent a whole another year down there. After what he's done in this Rumble, it's going to be hard to keep him in NXT still.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he doesn't make his main roster debut before WrestleMania, leading into a WrestleMania match, he's damn sure got to be called up right after.
Let's talk about entrant number 27. CM.
Oh, yeah. That guy.
That guy. Yeah.
Mr. Punk. Showing up in the Rumble at 27 to obviously a massive pop. And then proceeding to tear his tricep.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
So big old womp womp. But that being said, credit to him because, once we got down to the tail end, which, I think Drew came in at 29 and then 30, we got a returning Sami Zayn who, he got a nice good pop too, which even though that did kind of feel like a bit of a letdown, at least to me, because
I get it. A lot of people were expecting somebody else. And
I think some people were expecting bigger names, especially at 30.
He was probably the best person to book for 30.
Oh, okay. Welcome back, Sammy. That cool.
Sammy's getting to be like Edge. He's always returning. It's like, are you really returning if you've only been gone for 2 weeks?
I know, right?
Sammy's always returning. Always returning. Edge was always returning. But yeah, I mean, if you go back and watch the Punk stuff, knowing that he's going to hurt himself from the Future Shock DDT from Drew, you can see him. He's talking to referees after that. Somebody put a clip up of him like doing push-ups, testing it out. And he did the exact same thing the last time he tore his other tricep when he was in AEW in the match against Moxley. It's funny, somebody put them next to each other. He does this like push-up thing, trying to test it out. I mean, I guess it's a bummer for storyline wise. I mean, everything's all a kerfluffle going towards WrestleMania now, but this guy can't fucking stay healthy. You know, when we talked about him, when he signed and we talked about it before, I said, you know, if he doesn't blow up backstage, he's going to blow up in that ring. And, you know, he looked fucking gassed. He didn't look great. I think the fucking business has evolved past him in the 7 years he was gone. If he wanted to stay relevant, he should have swallowed his pride and come back a long time ago. Because I think the business has passed him by, and I don't think his body can do it anymore.
I mean, I don't feel like he was gassed in that match. I just feel like he was wrestling as a 45-year-old wrestler who has not been in the ring as often as he should. And you know what? I watched it again yesterday, and I like. The second Drew McIntyre comes in at 29. That's when shit like hits the ceiling because that's where he injures Punk, and I kept my eye on Punk for basically the rest of the match and how he had to finish that, and like how he had to like, you know, wrestle with one arm basically, and then I don't know if you guys caught Drew McIntyre throwing a Claymore kick to Cody Rhodes and knocking one of his fucking teeth out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw it on the ground. I was like, holy shit. Yep. I'm like, damn, Drew, why are you injuring
that don't get you some heat backstage, boy, you fucking with the franchise now.
I guess he figured if he injures both of them, he can put himself in the main event, right? Well, he kind of got most of that. I mean, because, you know, I can't believe it was down to like a 3. It wasn't even down. Well, it was Gunther, right? Gunther, who was it? Gunther, Drew, Punk, Cody, yeah. And then it's cool that they had.
Well, Sami Zayn was in there too.
Yeah,
because he came out at 30. He hung around.
It was cool that they had Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns there watching the match. You know.
Yeah, but they had the women awkwardly watching TV while standing up at an awkward angle from the television stage.
They watch it backstage, but the men are up in the booths.
Yeah, why weren't they also in the box? That didn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't have Rhea up there in the same booth with Seth, like both Raw champions, and then, you know, I mean, I guess you could understand, you know, EO not being in the same booth with Roman, given his character, but she could have been up there in a booth.
Yeah. Did you guys hear what Punk said when he went and pedigreed Cody Rhodes? He goes to commentary.
I didn't come here to lose to a son of a plumber.
No, he goes, can you believe I did that shit? And then when he had Cody, you know, before he was going to hit the GTS, he goes, I didn't wait 10 years to lose to Dusty's kid.
Oh, yeah, to Dusty's kid.
And
that's what the line was.
Yeah. And then Cody's like, oh, you mentioned my father. And he got like super Saiyan, right? And then he threw CM Punk out. I was like,
that was kind of a ho-hum finishing sequence, though. I think that went on a little long.
Mentioned my dad.
It did kind of drag. It definitely didn't have the same intensity as Cody and Gunther last year, who basically put on a match within a match before eliminating each other. Yeah, definitely Cody and Punk, which I don't know how much of that you contribute to the fact that Punk was as we know now, injured at that time. So maybe that put a bit of a limitation on what he could do.
All the more reason to go home sooner.
Yeah, but I still give Punk credit for the fact that he continued to work and just worked that long, at least in his one-on-one spot with Cody while still injured. So I give him credit for that. But yeah, I would say it was definitely a dragging pace towards the end of that match with very slow work towards the final finish where, again, Cody tossed Punk over the top, wins, and then proceeds to immediately point at Roman, seemingly implying that he's going to challenge Roman, until somebody decided to show up on Raw all up in their feelings and shit and say, no, face me instead. Because my guy got injured, so I have no opponent.
Yeah, I think that's a red herring.
Oh, absolutely. We know it is.
Like, the story is still the WWE Championship. That's the belt Dusty never won. And, Cody's, 3-0 against Seth Rollins?
Right.
Like, what more does he have to prove to Seth Rollins?
Yeah, like, if Cody wanted to be a dick in that moment, he could have been like, dude, I already beat you 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Why am I facing you?
I beat you with one arm. Speaking
literally.
But yet I'm the one with the gold.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand. I think Seth kind of made himself look weak, begging for an opponent, or like, I don't know. I think Roman's the big prize. Sorry, Seth's belt just isn't. I liked he's not the guy, I'm the guy. I thought that was a cool line.
I mean, you think
but ultimately, I think his logic isn't there. It doesn't. Roman's that's the big belt.
That's the problem with it, because I agree with you. Like, as a promo on its own, Seth cut one hell of a fucking promo there.
Yeah,
that was an absolute top tier, top notch promo. The problem is it don't pass the smell test, because as well as you executed as it was delivered, as much as you put all the passion in it, as much as everything you said about Roman is as true as can be, it still doesn't change the fact that his belt's still the top title. He's still the top guy. He's still the big dog. And Cody did not come back to be the blue collar guy, to be the blue collar champion. He came back to be the guy, the top guy in the company. And he ain't going to become that going through you.
I mean, I don't know. Seth Rollins, I think, he could have said, listen, like, I've beaten Roman Reigns. Roman has never beaten Seth Rollins. He's beaten him in a DQ match the last time they faced each other, but he's never pinned him. He's never pinned him clean. Like,
still doesn't change the fact of whose belt is the bigger of the two.
I understand that, but I think
Cody has that picture of Dusty with the belt in Madison Square Garden. He has that framed on his wall. He has that belt in his collection. Like, that means a shit. Like, I guess we're getting into what's real and what's not. But that's the thing he wants. It's always been the thing. He's even said before, like, that's the belt, not this one. So I think to totally reverse course right now makes no sense.
It would make no sense.
Like you
said, that's not the story.
I get that reasoning, but I think it's also them panicking now to the fact that some of these plans that they've had with guys like Brock Lesnar, with CM Punk, are kind of like they're scrapped. Like, and also, I can't believe we're like totally even glossing over this. Is like, where does somebody like The Rock even fit in all this? Because one way we like it or not, like he's gonna take part in WrestleMania some way, right? Like, I think they were trying to like, okay, like we need to wipe away the board and rewrite this. Like, maybe we can try some way pivot Cody to Seth. That way Roman is free for The Rock. Like, I mean,
I don't think we're getting Rock Roman.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I think maybe if Rock is involved, maybe he's fighting off the bloodline outside the ring to help Cody out or something.
I honestly don't know that. I'd be surprised if we got any kind of physicality from The Rock outside of maybe like what he's done the past 2 times he's shown up. Talk some smack, drop an elbow. I think, will he be there? Almost certainly. But I think we'll probably just get an in-ring segment or something akin to what we got with him, Hogan and Austin at WrestleMania 30. I still don't think we're going to be in a match, and Punk getting injured, I don't think changes any of that. And I don't know that I think WWE is panicking right now so much as they are just buying time. If anything, I think that's what this move from Seth Monday was. I think it's just WWE buying time while they figure out what they're going to do next. So they're going to probably draw this out for probably another maybe week or two in terms of this level of suspense, in terms of who's Cody going to choose. And hell, they may even drag it out if they really will, depending on what their plans are. If they really struggle to figure out what they're going to do for WrestleMania, they could arguably drag this out past the Elimination Chamber. And maybe we have a Royal Rumble winner and an Elimination Chamber with neither one of them having been declared who they're going to face at WrestleMania. And maybe they set up some sort of drama angle in terms of who's going to decide first. And now, like, you know, Cody's been dragging his ass this whole time, and now it's time to shit and get off the pot because you have this Elimination Chamber winner who could swoop in at the last second and steal your spot. Maybe the person who's at the Elimination Chamber could decide, nope, screw you, I'm taking Roman. And now Cody's stuck having to face Seth because he wasted time. I don't think that's actually going to happen, but they could drag it out that far if they wanted to, depending on what their plans for WrestleMania are or how long it takes for them to decide on new WrestleMania plans, because I think it's pretty clear that the original plan was Cody, Roman, and Seth, Punk. I mean, that's pretty much what's been reported through multiple outlets.
And I think that's why we all picked Punk to win the Royal Rumble. And I think I certainly wanted Cody to get to Roman some other way.
Mm-hmm.
I guess probably by winning the Chamber, I suppose. I don't really love him winning again, but, you know, I guess it's for the best. It's better than an injured CM Punk winning and then being out for 8 months, you know.
Yeah.
Then you're going to come up with some other way to determine, and that would be a lot. We don't know for sure, though, that the Chamber is going to determine anything at this point, right?
No, I don't think so.
Right?
No, I think we're just going based on what...
I mean, we're assuming, and I think
we're assuming based upon past.
But we haven't said that for sure on TV. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. We've never had, like, 2 undeclareds. I got to think we'll know at least one match before. We'll at least know who's Cody's going to face before the Chamber. I have to imagine.
Yeah. If I had to put money on it, I would say he probably decides before Elimination Chamber.
And did Bayley say she's going to declare on Friday? Or has she said anything? She said that.
She said something about this Friday on SmackDown. I don't know if she said she'll definitively give her decision, but I think she said maybe something to the effect, because this was when Nia Jax was in her face and she was playing scared.
Okay, yeah.
Something like, like she'd make her decision this Friday, or she has something to say about it this Friday.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I got some questions for us that are written in by some fans, so some fan questions. Let me play our bumper here.
Would you like to answer a question right at this particular time? Would you like to do that?
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
Can I ask a question, Macho Man? More questions. I'm sorry about that.
Alrighty. First question, Andrea wrote in, as normal. She asked, now that Braun Breaker has made one hell of a debut at the Rumble, if he goes to the main roster, where would you guys think he would fit? I think he would be a good fit on Raw. I think he would get lost in the shuffle on SmackDown between Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight, the Bloodline. I think he would just get lost in that shuffle of guys. I think Raw is the place for him to be. I think, at 26 years old, like we said, we thought he was going to get called up last year. They kept him down at NXT. He became a heel. He had a memorable feud with Braun. God damn, he's been down there so long I can't remember his fucking name. Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
Now I think they're a tag team, right? I think they're a tag team. Well,
they are.
Maybe they
That's how I'd use them.
Yeah. So
that's how I use them. I'd bring him up and bring Corbin up and keep them as a tag team.
Exactly. So if they do that, I'm all for it. I just think now's the time. I mean, the man was there to be called up to fill in a big spot. He filled in. He did a great job. And I think this is where his reward's going to be for it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think he ought to remain a tag team with Corbin, at least for a little while. And then you can split them off and have them feud. And then he can be off to the races going after a mid-card title or something. But I like the idea of him staying with Corbin, at least for a little while. But otherwise, he's just going to be somebody's heavy, or maybe they pick up a third and they get in on this gang war that's going on between Cross's group and Lashley's group, and I guess that would be on Raw.
I think I would probably place him on Raw. I know he said in a post Rumble interview, one of those digital exclusives on WWE or whatever that he interviewed. He said something to the effect that he's not done with the Judgment Day. Now, I don't know if that was foreshadowing of any sort or a slip on his mind, on his part, just speaking in the moment. But if there's a level of foreshadowing, then I guess he could show up at some point and start a feud with Judgment Day. I don't know really what the story would be, unless it's he debuts and they try to recruit him because he had a strong showing in the Rumble, and they're like, hey, join up with us, dude. You're pretty badass. And he's like, screw y'all. Something tells me he's gonna
Dom, but that's
something tells me he's gonna end up on the main roster as a babyface, at least when he debuts, even though he's a heel now on NXT. I think they're going to try to book him as a babyface when he, at least initially, on Raw.
He came out wearing his neon, right? He's been wearing like black as a heel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and he obviously was getting the dog pound chants, the roots from Shades of Old Rick Steiner.
He should do a promo backstage, but do it like Scott Steiner math, and he should just nail it. Oh shit. Yeah. We got another question here. It says Doyle's wife. I love it. Why do male wrestlers always have wet hair? Oh, I get asked this all the time. You know what? I think, not only does it look better, like, prime example, there's a wrestler who would come out specifically whose hair would look way better if it was wet than when it was dry and fluffy. That was Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler would come out sometimes with dry hair, and it'd be like so fluffy and frizzy and all over the place. And I couldn't take him serious. But wet hair makes a difference. I think it's easier to call spots too when you have like your hair hanging over your face. I think it works for some gimmicks like Bray Wyatt with his long hair, The Undertaker with his hair. And you know what? Like, some wrestlers just look better with longer hair and with it being wet, I just think when you're punching a guy in the face, the actions that they do make it look so more realistic with the hair. So, I mean, that's
it looks like a boxer getting hit with the sweat spraying off.
Yeah, that or my only other answer for you is that Vince likes it, and he would be backstage with a water bottle spraying you down like, yeah, I like that. Just some good shit. I'm just gonna, I want to spray it. Get on your knees so I can spray the top of your head. Yeah, it looks good.
It's easy.
Yeah, I think I think it probably does. Yeah, it's part of that. It looks better.
Yeah.
And again, like Seth Rollins looks better with wet hair than with a blowout. We've seen him with both looks.
Yeah.
I think some wrestlers look better on I think the only wrestler I've ever seen like almost never do wet hair or that could pull off the dry hair look was a guy like Ric Flair.
AJ Styles.
Because he had those lock. Well, yeah, because AJ's shit is laid.
Oh, yeah. AJ and his soccer mom haircut.
Yeah, AJ's shit is laid as fuck, but also got like Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Who obviously his hair was styled like a motherfucker in the 80s.
Silent profiling.
Yeah. People like that can pull it off there, but you have to have a certain look or just like naturally good laid hair to be able to pull it off. Most other people, it looks better wet. Like, anybody trying to see freaking Roman Reigns with a blowout? Yeah. That shit would not look right at all.
Well, we know the QR code works. She always asks me that, and I said, "Why don't you?" And she goes, "Can I ask the podcast that?" And I said, "Well, you got to scan the code." So I guess she did.
Yeah, it works pretty well. Because I had somebody who asked about our website, and I was just like, scan the back of my shirt. I was like, fuck yeah, it works. It's brilliant. And now that I'm happy that we have our website linked, our store, I mean. So, like, literally everything we have is linked there. Like, if you want to be on our Discord, you want to go to our Facebook, or you want to reach us personally, like you want to write a fan question, you want to review, you want to download all the episodes are on there, like the library of every episode. So if you're listening to it on like, I don't know, whatever provider, and you can't find every episode like SoundCloud or something, it's like, well, go to our website. Every episode is there. It's fucking awesome. And then sometimes legend has it, or actually not even that, rumor has it, that there might be another blog one day from Doyle.
Yes, actually.
Some kind.
So this one I will finish.
A rant of some kind.
Yes, this one I will finish.
You're like that fucking guy from Game of Thrones, George R.
I'm real good at starting them.
Finish it.
Not good at finishing them. Real good at starting them.
Some George R. Martin shit right there. Just fucking finish it. God damn, it's been years. Oh man, dude, WrestleMania's coming, dude. Like this trip, it's coming.
Before we know it.
I know.
Only one more pay-per-view before.
Yep.
Dude, I gotta put in my vacation day because I gotta take off Monday. Like, whatever time we get done, I'm gonna have to sleep. Like, I ain't making it to work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, hell, Monday will be my fly back home day.
Man, yeah, and
I found out that Tuesday before Becky Lynch is doing a book signing.
Yeah,
So
you were saying about that. Oh, book signing. Also, I had some more people lined up to do some interviews for, so maybe like we'll do like an interview and a news dump next episode or something. But I got a lot of stuff in the works. Keep us busy. Keeping us busy.
Right.
So, gentlemen, would you like to plug anything, Dre?
Nothing to plug this time. As always, y'all can find me in the Discord.
Yeah. Good old Discord. Doyle, what do you got to plug, man?
Yep, I'm in the Discord, my damn self, and remember to like the Facebook page.
Cool. You can find me anywhere at Semi Dry Chicken. I was on Seen It Cast again recently, and we did Apollo 13 and a movie called Lift on Netflix. I did not make it to the movie theater one, which was like Miller's Girl or something, but I heard it was not good. And I reviewed like a couple TV shows I watched, but the only other thing I wanted to plug in real quick was like I just read it now. Since they're reshooting the new Captain America movie, all of Seth Rollins' scenes were taken out.
Cut.
They were all been cut, dude. Like, I was excited. Like, we're gonna have Seth Rollins in the MCU somehow. And, like, he was gone for a while. Like, the sacrifice to leave WWE for anything, like, you know, especially when you're an active wrestler, like, given a window to, like, go and do a quick movie, and then this happens.
They love that shit. They love being anything close to the mainstream. They love it. So they will gladly give Seth Rollins 2-3 weeks off or whatever to go be in an MCU movie. You kidding me?
But yeah, like now it's like now we're not getting it from
Well, the rumor is that they wanted him to put the world title on the line in some fight scene with Cap, but he refused, so they chose to go in another direction.
Good job.
Oh shit! Yeah, good job out to Captain America.
Yeah, I mean, as such is the nature of the business. Happens all the time.
All right, guys.
I mean, it basically happened to MJF in the Iron Claw. He was in it for a second, but blink and you'd miss it, and no lines of dialogue or anything.
Oh no, you got to pay extra for lines.
Yeah. Well, I guess he filmed a bunch of stuff, and he was only in it for a split second.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, let's get the hell out of here. Peace.
Go Bees, go Seas.
You are the world's dumbest son of a bitch.
The fact that day in and day out for almost 6 years I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me.
You are not ready for Oscar!
Because the Street Profits are up and we want the smoke.
You're next. Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
New day. Cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah, Macho Madness here.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy.
Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome.
Those rotten bastards.
Bye-bye, bitch.